email or through the link for us to share it, or does it automatically
It's on
share?
live on YouTube, my Facebook, a lot of places, but everybody will also get links to the recording.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you so
It
much.
takes a while to process, and I've been busy today.
To say the least, this is the fourth interview, to say the least.
Yes. So welcome to this beautiful time to just visit and celebrate the fact that we, Sharon, hold your book up.
yay!
Imaginists, Fairytales, Fables, and Folklore. What a celebration, because we have done very, very well with this book. And I believe that it's the perfect time to reach the hearts with the spirit of the storytelling, and really, really, I don't know, there's something magical about this book. I feel that way about all books, but this one has a bit of magic. And so I wanted to just honor all three of you, all of us really, in the creation and the bringing this book to the world. And Junie, your chapter, because I know you, I've known you for a while now, a number of years. Your chapter is Just Supposing. Would you mind to share about it?
Just supposing I might. Well, it's a fun part of my life that I met David just before COVID, who is now my husband, and at the time when I met him, I had written a musical, but just the words for the songs, the lyrics, and the book itself, but it never went any further than that. And David's a musician, and he said, "Oh, I'd love to put the music to your lyrics." And I said, "Okay." And so he looked through some. He said, "Okay, I'll take these to begin with." And he took a bunch, came back, and there was one called Just Supposing. And I said, "You've got to give that back to me." "But I already wrote the music." I said, "Too bad, give it back." He said, "But," and I said, "No." He said, "Well, why not?" And I said, "It's just a bit too personal." And I hadn't realized that it took that one. And I said, "No, I don't want that it's just too personal to me." And the reason it was personal to me is because it was really just supposing I offered my hand to you. What would you do? What do you do? And I wrote it in my mind many, many, many years ago, thinking that it's a real proposal. It's a love song. It's a love poem. It's something. And I guess I'd gone out with enough musicians to not just want it to be some frivolous thing. I don't know. All I know is I didn't know him well enough, but I'm not putting that in there. That's just private. Anyway, fast forward several months, I used that very same poem to propose to him. Valentine's came and went, and I thought I'd get a proposal. Well, I got a beautiful bouquet of flowers and lots of beautiful words, and cards. And I thought, oh, all right. Anyway, it was a day, believe me, we'd gone away for the day, the next day after death, and it was quite the day, because I had this poem in my purse, wondering if I'd have the nerve. Do I have the nerve? I made up that I did, because it was of Sadie Hawkins' year, leap year. And so I think there's some superstition that I think it's about asking a boy to dance, not necessarily going the next step. Something about I dance. Would you like to dance, or would you like to marry me? And anyway, it all worked for me. I'll just use it. And we were already about to leave where we had spent the day on this beautiful island where we live, when I finally got the nerve. And he said yes. So that's beautiful. Where that song and that beautiful love story begins.
Beautiful.
That is
and
so
continues and continues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
beautiful. And Susan, what's the name of your chapter?
Enchantments.
Enchantments. Can you tell us about it?
Oh, thank you, Sharon.
This is her book.
It is, well, my chapter is an excerpt from my verse novel, my fantasy verse novel, Enchantments. And Enchantments is, it uses the King Arthur legend and myth as a backdrop to tell a story. And it's an allegorical tale told in verse. Um, and the protagonist is half elf and half human, a 16-year-old young woman who wants to understand her human lineage more deeply. And so she ventures out of Ayalawen, which is where the elves live, and approaches the mage, who's an old friend of her parents, and asks him to tell her about her heritage, and it leads her on an adventure that leads to more adventures. And so it's her story and the story of King Arthur woven into it.
How beautiful.
Beautiful.
So you've written how many books now?
Two
Two?
two novels.
Two novels.
I have short stories in other compilations. I don't know. Are we shamelessly marketing?
You're sharing your talent.
Sharon knows. I've told her many times I'm really terrible at marketing. So
It's one of the key to success for any of these.
this has been a wonderful experience being part of this anthology. First of all, meeting Sharon was really serendipitous because it was one of those situations, and there were many lovely, lovely people at this Thanksgiving gathering, but I just felt so connected with her right off the bat. And yeah, and I wanted to get to know her better, but we were on our way out. we were on our way on my husband and I were going to Croatia, where his family is from, and that was another adventure that one of these days I'm going to write about. But anyway, when I came back, I was hoping that I could reconnect with Sharon, but it didn't happen physically, but we connected virtually, and I just feel now that I've kind of been caught up. I've read the other two anthologies, the Legends anthology and
Wisdom of Sisters. Yeah.
yes, thank you. A little old timers disease there, and they're both so lovely, very different.
Very different. Yes.
Very different. But both of them, I just felt like, my gosh, I know these women. I just feel so connected to them. So hopefully the next time we're down in Arizona visiting our son, we'll be able to physically connect with some of these wonderful, wonderful
Yes.
people.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is a sisterhood and a community. We've got a couple of guys in there, so they're our brothers, and they bring that young energy. But absolutely, it is a community. And there's a likeness, and there's a kindred spirit within all of us, and that's that thread that really does keep us together. Absolutely, yes. Oh,
And it's you said the book is magical. It really is. You feel like when. I mean, in this anthology, it's all women authors, and it's just such a wonderful treat. And it's such a wonderful thing that we can connect in this way. It's very real.